Hey guys, Erin Hart here. Welcome to Monday Mindset. I'm so glad that you made the decision to join me today, whether you're joining me live and here in my VIP group or if you're watching the replay. I just want to welcome you. So, this is our time each week to refocus, to get our head in the right space so that we can be able to win the mental game of weight loss. Weight loss is absolutely a mental game. And if we can get there first in our mind, we're halfway there. So it's important for us to take this time to master our mindset each week. The topic that we're going to cover this week is new beginnings. This is a really great time to talk about it because it's spring. It is spring. You wouldn't know it if you were looking out my window right now. I live in Utah and it is snowing and there's a couple of inches of snow on the ground. Yesterday when I went on my way to church, it was like a blizzard, and Utah is so funny. So, some days it's like it teases us and tricks us and we think it's going to be warm and like, oh, winter's over, but yeah, some days are like this. So, but I love it. I love it so much. But still, technically, it is spring, even though it looks like Christmas outside. I love spring so much. You know, After a really long, cold winter, it is such a beautiful respite to have spring. The weather starts to get warmer. The trees and the flowers bud and they blossom. There's new life. And so it is just such a beautiful time, a beautiful season. And what I want to talk to you today about is not the physical season of spring, right? But just those metaphorical seasons of our life. And if your goal is to lose weight for the last time with a sugar and flour free lifestyle, the seasons of that journey. So let's talk a little bit about that. Winter is really kind of that rock bottom place. It's like when I kind of think of winter as, that metaphorically in those seasons of our lives, it's like that's kind of those challenging times when we're struggling, when we are, I hate to use the term in the ditch. I just don't love that term. But, when we are really feeling out of control with our lives, with our food, with our relationship with food, powerless against the cravings. Winter may be that rock bottom place where you just don't have energy, where you lack confidence, where you're tired, and you're just not where you want to be, right? It's really that hard time. So spring is a time of renewal. Spring is a time of hope. Spring in that journey of our health, could be that time when we start to have that glimmer of hope, like being willing to be willing. And we start to see that we can come out of winter, that winter doesn't last forever, that we can change, that we can create the life that we want for ourselves. So spring is a time of new beginnings, of restoration, of renewal, of hope. And summer is the time of work. So summer is when we start to work. Going back to spring, if you think of the the metaphor of like planting a garden, spring is when we're starting to plant those seeds. Those we're starting to change. We're starting to plant those seeds of hope. Summer is the time of work. So summer is when we start to work. We tend the garden, we water it. There's the hot sun, and it's a challenging time, but it's an exciting time, and it's a time that's when we really start to grow, when we start to change, when we start to embrace this new identity and we start to focus on those habits, right? Um, so I think of summer as those times when we're really in the midst of the weight loss phase, and we are just focusing on those habits and just taking it one day at a time, you know, um, focusing on the process. And then fall is the harvest time. So fall is when we start to see um, the results, when we start to see the benefits, uh, when we start to achieve the outcomes that we've been working toward. So I like to think about the program in terms of seasons. And I just want to ask you, what season are you in? You know, where do you fall in that journey? And the good news is that if you're in winter, uh, winter always ends. Winter always ends, and there's always hope for a brighter future. Every good thing is on your path. Uh, so spring, this time, so today I just wanted to talk about new beginnings and that season of spring uh, in our programs. So, and to do this, I just really want to tell you my story. I think all of you know my story. Some of you may not know my story, but so back in September of 2020, I was just in a rock bottom place. I was in winter. I was, I had been a nurse for almost 15 years at that time, working in the hospital. I had 3 beautiful kids, a beautiful family, like a career I loved. You know, like I had a great life. I mean, I love my life, but I felt like I was not who I wanted to be. And I felt like I wanted more out of my life. I was really struggling with my relationship with food and my weight. So after 10 years of, working in the hospital and everything, I had, and, just the challenges of being a parent, I just was not coping well. And I used food to cope with my emotions and the challenges of life. And over that course of 10 years, I'd gained 120 pounds. And I found myself at 284 pounds. I was, in a rock bottom place, not only physically, I was starting to have signs and symptoms of prediabetes, but also emotionally. I was depressed. I, you know, I had a hard time physically walking up the stairs, putting on my own socks, like when I just didn't feel like the mom I wanted to be because I was so tired all of the time, and I just didn't feel like I had the energy to take care of my kids the way I wanted to. When they would want to play, I would just feel too tired, and then I'd feel really guilty. And so it was a hard time in my life, and lots of challenges financially and all of that. So one day I looked in the mirror and I literally didn't recognize the person staring back at me. It was so shocking, and it was really surreal. And I realized, like, wow, like, how did I get here? How did I get to this point where I'm so far removed from the person I really am? What bothered me the most about looking in the mirror and not seeing myself was that it wasn't like the vanity of it. It was really just the lack of authenticity, that my body didn't reflect who I am on the inside, and I just couldn't see me. And so, I just knew, I'm like, this is when spring started, is I gotta change this. This is not sustainable for me. I don't want to live this way anymore. I want more out of life than to be obsessed with food and constantly hiding my binges, hiding my body, I wanted to be free, and I wanted, so I had just a little glimmer of hope. Maybe I could change this around. And at that time, I really lacked the confidence that I actually could, because I'd been on the dieting roller coaster for so long. And, um, and I wasn't really, and tried and failed so many times before, I didn't really know that I could actually do it. So, but that it was at that time when I found the sugar and flour free lifestyle and jumped all in with it. And that was my season of spring, as I started reading books, and I started just believing that maybe I could do it. I started listening um, to different inspirational people, like Tony Robbins, and I just started to believe that maybe my life could change, that maybe I could create a better future for myself and my family. And spring is such a beautiful, hopeful time. And it was then that I started to do the work and started, to really focus on the process and change my habits and to change the way I think. Um, I started uh, to just really dial down my eating, and I gave up flour and sugar. I started weighing and measuring my food, and eating only at meal times, not in between. And after time, like, I just saw this beautiful, extraordinary transformation. Just like this butterfly that I just became a different person. And I'm not saying this to brag or anything like that. I'm just trying to share my experience that I was in the deepest, darkest winter. And and uh, because I had that little, I planted the seed of hope. It just has harvested into this beautiful life. And my life is still, I love my life, and I'm so grateful. And still, like, I want to change and progress and grow, even where I am. But we all go through these seasons, and we go through them over and over again sometimes, right? So, spring is just this time of new beginnings and renewal. There is hope. Um, I was able to lose 125 pounds, and I was able to become more confident and happy, and have less anxiety and fear. And, you know, but it all starts with that glimmer of hope. So I hope that just watching this video, you can know that there's hope. That if you're in winter, that things can change, and that everything good is on your path. Just get the support that you need, get the help, start taking the small little steps, and it can lead into a beautiful transformation in your life. I believe in you. I know that we go through these seasons over and over again, even during like the weight loss phase, even during the year of you may go through seasons where things start to feel really hard, or you make some mistakes and you want to give up, right? But don't give up, because winter doesn't last forever. Just hang in there and keep going. Just keep focusing on the process, and over time you'll be able to really see a beautiful change if you stick with it. If you give up, then things are not going to change for you. So don't give up. Like, when you're in winter, just hang on there, bunker down, keep doing your best. But spring is always coming, and there is hope. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and feel free to reach out if you need help and support with your sugar and flour free lifestyle. I'm a registered nurse health coach, and my program is called The Year of You. I just came out this week with a new freebie to offer you. I have 30 sugar and flour free meal ideas that you can download on my website, And there's an option there for a $7 masterclass as well, where I really dive deep into what I teach my clients. You know, it's the 1 hour version of my year-long program, right? It's not everything I can give you, but it is powerful, and it is an hour that can help you to get out of winter and into spring. So it's called the Success Framework Masterclass, and I hope that you'll get it. You know, it really, those are the secrets that helped me to lose 125 pounds and to change and transform my life, and it's what's helping my clients to achieve such dramatic and extraordinary success as well. So that is available to you, and I hope you'll take advantage of it. So have a great day, you guys. Happy spring. Bye.